There is a moment that changes everything, and it usually does not look dramatic from the outside. No crowd is watching, no music is playing, nobody is clapping. It is just you, standing in front of the choice you have avoided, the workout you keep postponing, the apology you need to make, the application you have not sent, the page you have not written, the room you need to clean, the decision you need to admit is yours. And in that moment, your mind will offer you comfort. It will say, later. It will say, tomorrow. It will say, wait until you feel more confident. Wait until the timing is better. Wait until life calms down. But growth often begins with a different sentence. Walk into it. Not because it is easy. Not because you are completely ready. Not because you have every answer. Walk into it because avoiding it is quietly costing you your strength. Most people think courage is a feeling. They imagine brave people wake up without doubt, without nerves, without that heavy pressure in the chest. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement while fear is still talking. Courage is sending the message with shaking hands. Courage is starting the first set before you feel motivated. Courage is sitting down to learn something difficult when your ego wants to quit. Courage is facing the conversation you would rather escape. You do not become stronger by waiting outside the challenge. You become stronger by entering it. Think about the things that have shaped you most. The difficult season you survived, the responsibility you carried, the loss that forced you to rebuild, the discipline you kept when nobody noticed. At the time, it may not have felt like growth. It may have felt unfair, uncomfortable, exhausting. But later, you looked back and realized something important. You were being stretched into a larger version of yourself. That does not mean you should chase chaos. It does not mean you should ignore rest, health, or wisdom. It means you stop treating every hard thing as a sign to run. Some hard things are warnings, but some hard things are invitations. An invitation to become more honest, an invitation to become more consistent, an invitation to become more capable, an invitation to respect yourself again. The challenge in front of you may not be massive. It may be simple. 10 focused minutes, 1 healthy choice, 1 boundary, 1 uncomfortable practice session, 1 hour without distractions, 1 honest look at your habits. And that is where real change begins, because discipline is rarely built in grand heroic moments. It is built in small decisions where you choose direction over comfort. You do not need to transform your whole life today. You need to stop stepping backward from the one thing asking for your attention. Maybe you have been telling yourself that you are behind. Maybe you compare your chapter to someone else's highlight and feel like you missed your chance. But listen carefully. The path forward is not found by punishing yourself for the past. It is found by taking ownership of the next step. Shame drains energy. Ownership creates movement. You cannot redo yesterday's choices, but you can interrupt today's pattern. If you skip the gym all week, walk in today and do what you can. If you wasted hours scrolling, put the phone away and reclaim the next 30 minutes. If you have been avoiding your goal because you fear being average, accept being a beginner and begin anyway. Progress is not reserved for people who never fall off track. Progress belongs to people who return to the path with less drama and more honesty. There is dignity in returning. There is power in saying, I got distracted, but I am back. I lost momentum, but I am not lost. I made a mistake, but I am not a mistake. I am not here to pretend. I am here to improve. Confidence is built this way, not by repeating empty phrases in the mirror, but by collecting evidence. Every time you face something you used to avoid, you place proof inside your own mind. Every time you do the responsible thing when it would be easier not to, you teach yourself, I can trust me. Every time you choose the hard, useful action over the soft, useless excuse, you become a little more solid, and do not underestimate the quiet wins. Drinking water when you would rather ignore your body. Preparing your clothes for tomorrow. Reading the chapter. Stretching after training. Showing up on time. Keeping your workspace clean enough to think. Saying no without guilt. Saying yes to an opportunity even though your voice shakes. These are not small because they are simple. They are powerful because they are repeated. Your life is not only shaped by your biggest decisions, it is shaped by the standard you practice when nobody is forcing you. So ask yourself, where am I waiting at the edge? Where am I standing near the door but refusing to enter? What task keeps following me because I keep refusing to face it? What habit keeps draining my self-respect? What conversation would clear the air? What skill would change my future if I practiced it consistently for 1 year? What discomfort have I mistaken for danger? Be honest, but do not be cruel. Honesty should wake you up, not crush you. The point is not to attack yourself. The point is to stop abandoning yourself. Because every time you avoid what matters, a part of you knows. And every time you step forward, a part of you rises. You may not feel ready. That is fine. Readiness often arrives after action, not before it. You may not feel confident. That is fine too. Confidence follows commitment. You may not know the perfect plan. Good. Start with the visible step. The step you can name, the step you can take today. Open the document. Tie the shoes. Make the call. Lift the weight. Study the lesson. Clean the space. Tell the truth. Practice the skill. Do not make the beginning sacred. Make it simple. You are allowed to start messy. You are allowed to be nervous. You are allowed to move slowly. But you are not allowed to keep convincing yourself that standing still is the same as being safe. Comfort can become a cage when you stay there too long. The world does not need you perfect. Your future does not need you fearless. Your growth does not require a dramatic announcement. It requires a decision, repeated often enough to become identity. Today, choose one thing you have been circling. Not 5, not your entire life. One thing. Decide what the next step is. Put a time on it. Remove one distraction. Lower the excuse. Raise the standard, then walk into it. And when resistance shows up, do not be surprised. That is part of the door. You are crossing from familiar into stronger. Of course it feels uncomfortable. Of course your old habits will protest. But you are not here to obey every feeling. You are here to become someone you can respect. Step forward with a steady breath. Do the honest work. Let the action teach your mind that you are capable of more than avoidance. This is your moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because something in you is ready to stop running from the next level. Walk into it. And once you are there, keep going.